Everton's sort of on a different level. It means so much to the people. I know what you're going to say. Hole in one, 147 and 9 dart. You feel like very vulnerable and you feel very weak. Football's my life, and it feels like it's their life as well. I see how passionate they are and how much they want to win, and it just resonates with me because that's how I live my life.
Kiernan, thanks for joining us. When we first discussed doing this feature, we spoke about going and enjoying something outside of football.
Yep.
And we're here at Snooker.
Yeah.
Snooker table. Tell us about how that passion first started.
Yeah, I've been playing since I was a young kid, to be fair. I think I've been playing pool all my life, sort of like as a kid growing up in like going to the pubs and that with my parents and that. So I was always on a pool table as a young kid. Then as I got a little bit older, I'd get took to the local snooker club and just started playing, and then just really enjoyed it. I just found it like relaxing and very tough. So like get addicted, you know, when you're not very good at something, you want to keep getting better. So yeah, ever since then I just always play when I can, watch it when I can, and I just find it like a really fun game, to be fair.
Just touching on some of your other interests as well, because we spoke about going somewhere different. You mentioned golf, which is a popular one. You mentioned snooker, obviously here. You mentioned musical theatre as well, which is an unusual one for a footballer in terms of the ones we've done so far. Tell us about that, and where did that interest first start?
Yeah, that's probably my guilty pleasure, as you call it. I'm an absolute sucker for a musical and a West End show. And my better half used to be a dance, performing arts. She used to go to performing arts college, so I used to go and watch that, watching her, and my mum and auntie used to dance when I was a young kid, so I watched them, and probably it started from there.
Did you ever dabble yourself in the acting sphere?
Maybe when I retire, I might give it a go. Like, there's something about it. Just even when I'm watching, I just get like quite excited. So, yeah. I mean, never say never.
Don't rule it out. Let's talk a little bit about these early days at Everton then. How are you settling in? How are you finding it so far?
Yeah, I love it. It's amazing. Everyone's been so welcoming and nice, and it's just a really good club and really good feeling at the moment. So long may that continue, and I'm just hoping to keep working hard, keep progressing and helping the team as much as I can and see where it takes us, sort of thing, really.
How nice has it been to have a sort of early connection with the fans as well? Because even going back to that first appearance against Roma, your unofficial debut, I guess. Yeah. You could feel the appreciation from very early on. How did that feel, and how important is that to you? Yeah, it was. That sort of kick-started for me, and it just showed me straight away like how amazing the fans are and can be, and they've genuinely been so nice to me since I've been here, and my family. Like when they see him with me, they're just so polite and have like lovely things to say, and can't thank them enough for that, really, because it does help a player, definitely. You know what I mean? You've obviously experienced a few different clubs in your career, haven't you? Leicester obviously came through. Chelsea, you had a couple of loan clubs as well. Yeah. What have you found about Everton that's perhaps been different to other clubs that you've experienced so far, do you think? The feeling of the club, it feels like a proper family club. Like, I don't even know how to explain it, really. Just the fan base and that, it's so big, and it means so much to the people, which I love because football's my life. So, and it feels like it's their life as well, which is, so we're sort of on the same page, and I see how passionate they are and how much they want to win, and it just resonates with me because that's how I live my life. Not saying that the other clubs weren't like that, but I just feel like Everton's sort of on a different level. So it's like, I was speaking with someone the other day and I was saying imagine playing for Everton when you're pushing for things and trying to win things. It must be one of the best places to play. So that's what I want to get to, because that would be an amazing feeling, because you see how good they are even in the tough times, but imagine when it's going a bit better. Absolutely. I wanted to ask you about Jack Grealish.
Yeah.
Obviously someone else who joined the club in the summer.
Yeah.
And you seem to have formed a connection with him on and off the pitch. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Nah, he's a great lad. Like, I've known Jack for a couple of years, like just mutual friends and stuff, and he's obviously a fantastic player. Everyone can see that, but he's actually a really, really nice lad. Like, such like a humble, down-to-earth lad, which I don't know whether he's portrayed like that in the media and stuff. But when you get to know him, you give everybody the time of day, whether it's anybody. So that to me shows like how you are as a person. So yeah, we click really well, and he's just funny, like a really funny guy who's got good banter. So in terms of having him in the dressing room, he's great. Yeah. And then having him on the pitch, yeah, but like it's good that we managed to get a little connection early, and it's still early days, so we're still trying to get it better and better to a point where it's just free and off the cuff. Yeah. But it's still early, so we've got plenty of time to get to that point.
There's always going to be noise around Jack, isn't it, in terms of there's always eyes on him. Yeah. And there's been a lot made of his start, which has obviously been amazing for us as well. Yeah. But I think if you ask any Evertonian, they'd say you've started just as well. Are you happy to sort of not have as many eyes and that spotlight on you as Jack?
He's like almost like a celebrity though, Jack. Like, he's not just a football player. Like, he's a very famous person. Yeah. Just, you know what I mean? Yeah. Just from the way he is and stuff. So I don't mind it at all. Like, as long as I'm playing well and he's playing well and we're both happy, I don't mind who gets the limelight. But yeah, I mean, he likes it, so I'll let him continue to take it as much as he wants.
Tell us about the dressing room as a whole, because there's some really big characters in there now, isn't there? Yeah. Some big leaders, Tarky, Seamus, yep. Of course, Jordan, lads with a lot of experience, lads who are passionate about Everton as well. How have you found that in terms of the dynamic that's in the changing room at the minute? Yeah, it's been really, really, really good. Like every club has different styles. My previous club was a very young dressing room, young, exciting prospects with not a lot of experience, whereas I've come here and you've got them names that you said that have all made over 300 appearances in the Premier League. That's very tough to do. You have to be a high-level player for many years to do that, and they are, and they're such big personalities, and they really help drive standards and what it means to play for the club. And I do think you need people like that in the dressing room, especially for the younger lads that are coming through that we've got. So yeah, I've been fortunate that I've managed to get along with them really well so far, and we've built very good relationships, and I'm thankful of them for letting me bring my side and them letting me settle in so well. So yeah, I can't complain at all. It's a top dressing room. Too quick. Seamus is obviously club captain, has been for so many years. I think a lot of people talk about the impact he has in the dressing room and has had in obviously some difficult times. Yeah. A new chapter now, but how important is he still in that dressing room, do you think?
He is one of the most, if not the most important player in the dressing room. He doesn't even have to speak, and he's just got that respect, you know what I mean? And like, I don't want to sound like a broken record and say what everyone says, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to speak like what he's like as a person. Everyone knows him as a captain and whatever. But as a person, I'm just thankful. Like, we're very similar, which it's made it very easy to get along with him. And like, honestly, he's such a good guy. Like, we have the same banter, we laugh at the same things, we get annoyed by the same things. So, just as a person, if he wasn't a captain, I would get along with him so well. It just happens that he's an unbelievable captain as well. And yeah, I have the utmost respect for him, which is. It's funny because I played against him a couple of times before I came, and he actually annoyed me quite a few times. And I wasn't sure how I was going to get along with him, but and I said that to him when I came, and he was like, well, it is what it is. On the football pitch, like, you're one way, you might be a different way off the pitch, and I agree with that. It's nice to have a different side on and off the pitch, but can't say nice enough words about him. Like I've said before, I wish he could stay here for 10 more years.
And obviously, he's not just Everton captain, but he's Republic of Ireland captain as well. There's been a few rumours about you potentially being called up for them in the future.
Yeah.
Have you spoke about that?
Yeah, no, we have, to be fair. No one's seen that. Yeah, we spoke about it and we laughed and joked about it, but to be fair, I sort of told him where my head's at, and that's probably, I feel I see myself as English, and biggest dream of mine would be to play for England. So, I mean, it would be unfair of me to keep saying to him, oh yeah, I want to play, you know what I mean, sort of leading it on, where that's probably not what I want to do. As much as I respect them, the Irish people and their fans and the way they are, it just wouldn't feel right for me. I want to give myself a chance of playing for England, which, like I said, it's a lifelong dream, and I feel like now there's a great opportunity in terms of playing for a massive club that's on the up, trying to play regular football, and then it's just down to me. You know what I mean? I still believe that I can do it if I play well enough, and yeah, that's where my head's at, and he knows that, and he's the sort of guy to go, look, yeah, I believe in you, and I trust that whatever you want to do, you're going to go all in, and yeah, he was great in terms of that.
I've got a couple of quick-fire questions to finish.
Yeah, nice.
Oh. So, first off, rate the following in order of difficulty.
I know what you're going to say. Hole in one, 147, and 9 darter.
Exactly that.
The hardest is a 147 in snooker. That's the hardest.
Easily. You seem pretty emphatic on that one.
I don't think it's a question. Because I don't know exactly, but it's like, what was it? It must be like 30 perfect shots.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's for me the hardest by far. I'd say the second hardest is a 9 darter, which is 9 perfect darts. And then the easiest is a hole in one, because with all due respect, anyone can get a hole in one. You could scuff a shot and it rolls into the hole. I respect anyone that gets any of them, but for me, 147 is the hardest.
This or that, snooker themed. Snooker or pool?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. I'm going to go snooker.
Best snooker venue, the Crucible or Alexandra Palace?
The Crucible.
Your personal favourite snooker player of all time?
Mark's going to hate me, but Ronnie O'Sullivan.
And who's the greatest player of all time?
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Some teammates related snooker questions then. Who's the best snooker or pool player you've played against in football?
You know, he's a unbelievable pool player, Jamie Vardy.
Just pool, not snooker?
I think it's I've never played him at snooker, but I played him at pool and he's
good.
Unreal. So I think he's got a snooker table, so I'm guessing he's good at that as well.
If you had to pick someone out of the current Everton team to be on your snooker team, who would it be?
I don't even know if any of them can spell snooker, let alone play it. I'm going to go with snooker. Jesus. I genuinely don't know if anyone plays, but I'm going to go with Pickers. I think he might be decent.
Who would it definitely not be?
Jack.
Who would you have to explain the rules to 100 times?
I ain't going to go Jack again. I'll have to go Jake O'Brien. He is, if he's not switched on, then, yeah, things might need explaining more than once.
Who would you want for a high-pressure, match-winning pot?
Myself.
And who would be the best snooker referee?
Michael Keane. Very level-headed guy. Fair. That's better.
You missed the wink to camera.
Oh, yeah. a nice coffee, that. Decent. I'm a bit of a coffee connoisseur. It's a good coffee, yeah.
Kiernan, let's take you back to the very beginning. Born in Nottingham, raised in Leicester. Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, how you fell in love with football in the first place.
Ooh, yeah, to be honest, for as long as I can remember, I've had a football at my feet. My parents tell me now that I was kicking a football as early as 18 months old, so I generally, as cliche as it is, it's literally all I've done my whole life. And I think pretty early on I realised I was probably a little bit better than my peers around me, and then just since the age of probably 2, 3, 4, my mum actually tried to get me to my local team when I was 4 years old, but no one would take anyone that young, so I was just doing little soccer schools, and then eventually got to my local team, which was Shepshed Dynamo, and then played for a year and then joined Leicester, and then the rest is history sort of thing. So yeah, then my memory is just literally playing every day on the field with my friends, and it was literally my life.
Let's rewind a little bit, because I read a piece in the Loughborough Echo about Baby Beckham. She's referring to you.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Was that about when your mum was trying to get you a team?
Exactly that, yeah. That was, my mum actually wrote to the paper and was like, look, I've got a little 4-year-old lad here that's obsessed with football, and no one really wants to take him because he's so young. Can you do a little piece? And yeah, they did a piece. They came around my house, watched me kick footballs into my goal, and yeah, they did that piece, and that was sort of a ploy to try and get a team to just take me for a training session, and then as it happens, it ended up working, and then yeah, from there I started playing. So
Shepshed Dynamo was your first team.
Yeah.
I believe you were a striker then.
Yeah, I was.
Talk us through that. Was it just a natural thing to play up front, try and score as many goals as you can?
I think at that age it was just scoring goals. Football wasn't really a game, it was just who can score the most goals. And because I was pretty good, they just stuck me up there, and I had the nickname Pocket Rocket because I was about that tall, but I was really quick. So yeah, I used to just score. I think I must have scored like 40 goals in my first season, actually playing the year above because I was so young. And as the years went on, I just dropped a little bit deeper, but yeah, striker was my first position.
Tell us about Leicester then. I believe your mum, Vanessa, was a big part in making it possible. It wasn't just the commitment and sacrifice, but she helped you through some hard times, and both your parents did as well, I believe. You were the shortest in the academy for between 12 to 16. Mm. How difficult was that, and how much do you think that shaped you, not just mentally, but technically as well?
Yeah, that was probably the most difficult part of my childhood. When you're a young lad growing up around other young lads at a high level of sport, when you're having them sort of problems, you feel very vulnerable and you feel very weak. And yeah, I had many dark times where I had to have talks with my mum to basically just say, what's happening? Why is this happening to me? Why am I not growing? Why am I like that? And she just sat me down and just said, look, basically it's nature. Let nature take its course. Be patient. And in that time, it taught me to just really hone in on the technical side of the game because I had no physicality to compete with players. But it also gave me that mentality of no matter what's going wrong, no matter what's against you, just always have that determination to try your best. And that's always stuck with me. So everything I ever do, it's to my full potential. And when I end up finally growing into a man, it sort of combined together to help me a lot.
I wanted to pick up on something you mentioned when you first signed. You mentioned Paul Scholes as your idol growing up. Obviously, phenomenal footballer. But what specifically was it, do you think, that appealed to you?
Probably like a lot of similar. I've seen a lot of similarities between me and him in terms of he was small. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying the most athletic or the quickest or the strongest. But he was so clever, and none of that affected him. Yeah. He would always get stuck into anyone, and then just use his brain to play football, and that was something that I just really appreciated because it felt like that was what I had to do. I wasn't a big 6'4" midfielder that could just power his way through. I was probably more his style. So I just used to watch clips of him, and the more I watched of him, the more I was just in awe when I started to understand football properly, of how clever he was in terms of everything he did, and yeah, for me, he's the best midfielder like my favourite midfielder. So definitely tried to pick little parts of his game to maybe add to mine, while also trying to involve my own game.
Another player I wanted to ask you about as well was N'Golo Kante. Tell us about how you first met him and the sort of impact he had on you.
Well, yeah, I think he first came to the club when I was a scholar, first year scholar. Just started professional, full-time football myself, and he came as an unknown entity to the Premier League. And it's obviously, I think it's common knowledge that I was assigned to be his boot cleaner for that year, which ended up being the year they won the league. So that was almost how we got introduced. And then throughout the year, I'd train with the first team once or twice, got to see him on a more personal level. He even tipped me at Christmas for my boot cleaning. So like, I got to see him like day to day and what he did and how good he was. And yeah, a phenomenal footballer and a humble person, which for me is just as important. No matter how good you are, anything, the fact that he was just the most nice person to be around was the most important thing for me. So yeah, he probably the first person I seen in the flesh was like, that's what it takes to be a top player. And everything he did was like at such a high level, it made me think, if I want to achieve something, I have to do that, or if I don't, then I won't get to that level.
So you break through at Leicester, a really successful time there, and then you move on to Chelsea, and you had a really successful year there too.
Yeah.
Obviously a massive part of the side that won the Conference League. You were the only player to start featuring every game, win the Club World Cup as well. How do you reflect on that Chelsea experience in particular now you're here at Everton?
Yeah, amazing. I mean, it was so good in terms of the fact that I experienced what it's like to be at a club that winning mentality is the most important thing. Every game you play, you're expected to win, and that's what I want. I want that pressure. I always say it's the privilege if you've got pressure, because it means you're doing something right. And the fact that I was at a massive club like Chelsea and managed to contribute to successful times is fantastic. But it just probably came to a point where I was in a point where I wanted to play more consistently, because that's, I feel like, is the way you see the best out of me as a player. And unfortunately, I didn't get that as much as I wanted at Chelsea. And that's just the way it is. That's the way football is. And the right opportunity came up to go here. But in terms of reflecting on my time at Chelsea, I don't regret a minute of it. I thought it was fantastic. It was a year I'll never forget. And yeah, it was a great club to play at.
And obviously, you're never going to be short of options after a year like that at Chelsea. But what specifically was it about Everton that felt right for you? And is it is it what you expected, do you think?
Yeah, like you said, I did have a fair few options after obviously a successful season. And after speaking to many people, family members, people I trust, and speaking to people at Everton, it was everything that I wanted to leave. If I was to leave a club like Chelsea, it was everything I wanted to go to. A new project, a new stadium, exciting future plans. Like, that's something that I wanted to be like a forefront of. Like, if I'm at the start of this new chapter, I think that's a very important part of a club's history. So I spoke to the manager. He was fantastic. He explained exactly what he wanted from me, what he wants going in the future. I respect him a load because I know him. I appreciate what he's done. I think he's the same as me. So it just felt right, you know what I mean? And then ever since I've come through the door, I just know it's the right decision, because the way I've been treated, the way my family's been treated, everything's just been first class. And it's nice that that's happened, because it's made me realise I've definitely made the right decision, and it makes me excited about what we can do in the future. And I'm just excited to get in every day and then keep improving and seeing what happens.
And just finally, we met a family just there now from Finland who've come over. The dad's been a fan since the mid-80s, and I'm sure it's not the first person to say about how successful the club's been in the past. There's a real hunger for it to be successful again in the future, isn't it? How much more drive does that give you? Obviously you're driven anyway, but how much extra does that give you to sort of bring those times back, successful times back at Everton?
Yeah, loads. I mean, the one thing you want in life is a purpose to do something, you know what I mean? And I feel like I've got that here, and like you said, it's been a couple of tougher years for the club, but it does genuinely feel like more people are aiming towards it being a successful future, and the fact that I've got an opportunity to make a big impact in that is something that I just couldn't turn down. And it suits my ambitions. Like, I'm not the sort of player, I could have easily stayed at my previous club and just gone through the motions, but I wasn't willing to do that because that's just not in my DNA. I want to be a big part of something, and yeah, this is the perfect project. And like I said before, if we do the right things, I think it can definitely be an exciting couple of years going forward.